In this video, we will learn about circulatory system as the transport system of the body. Now, if you think of anything that is synthesized in one part of the body or received by one part of the body, for example, glucose, which was generated by digesting food in the intestine, has to transport to all parts of the body because it is necessary to generate energy. Now, glucose will be transported from the small intestine to all parts of the body using this transport system, that is the circulatory system. So, it is the system of internal transport in all the multicellular organisms. It supplies nutrients and oxygen to all the cells in our body and also helps in removal of waste products from them. It also transports hormones from the endocrine glands like pancreas, thyroid, etc. to their target organs and protect the body from the invasion of microbes. Now, if we see the components of circulatory system, it has three main components. One is the body fluids or the circulatory medium. So, it includes blood, lymph and tissue fluid to carry food, oxygen and other substances. Second is the path in which these fluid flow, that is the blood vessel and lymph vessel to carry the body fluids. Third is the heart to pump blood through these blood vessels. Now, if we think of body fluid, so we saw there are three body fluids which are important in circulatory system: blood, lymph and tissue fluids. Blood circulates through heart and blood vessels, that is artery and veins. Lymph flows through lymph vessels and lymphatic organs, whereas tissue fluid bathes the body cells. It is also called as interstitial fluid or intercellular fluid. Inter means between the cells. So if we see how the interstitial fluid, lymph and blood work together. So here if you see, the blood flows within the blood vessels and the blood can give materials to the tissue fluid like glucose and oxygen. Tissue fluid will give it to the cells. Now, if there are any substances which cannot be given back to the blood, for example, CO2 will be given, but larger substances which cannot enter blood vessels will go to lymph. Now, some tissue fluid enters the lymphatic vessel. So, if we see, all the substances from the blood to the body cells and from body cells to blood should pass through tissue fluid. So, it acts as a mediator between blood and tissue and also between lymph and tissue. Now, the figure shows the relationship between blood flowing through the blood vessels, tissue fluid around the cells and lymph in the lymph vessels. In closed circulatory system as found in our body, blood flows only through these closed vessels and blood never comes out of the vessels. The finest branches are the capillaries which come closest to the tissue cells. Here, the plasma from the blood diffuses out of the capillary wall and forms the tissue fluid. The cells will not be able to enter the tissue fluid, but only the plasma, the fluid part, will enter. The tissue fluid provides oxygen and nutrients to the cell. The medium which is in direct contact with the tissue is the tissue fluid or the interstitial fluid. The carbon dioxide and waste products from the cell will diffuse into the tissue fluid. The part of the tissue fluid is absorbed by the lymph, as we can see here, and forms the lymph. It passes through lymph vessels and is poured into the subclavian vein. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you.